Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into something pretty profound. Our source describes it as a truly singular time, a period where humanity is apparently undergoing a deep and irreversible process. That phrase alone, irreversible.
It's intriguing, isn't it?
It really is. It grabs you immediately. And what's fascinating here is how the source pinpoints this transformation. It talks about transfiguration and recodification of DNA.
Right. DNA recodification. That's not just metaphorical language, is it? It sounds much more fundamental.
Exactly. The source suggests it's a real energetic shift, not just, changing your mind, but something deeper, restructuring our very blueprint, maybe, from the inside out.
Wow. Okay. So this journey we're about to take might resonate with some of the shifts you listening might already be feeling. Maybe subtle pulls, maybe big urges for change.
Yeah, definitely. It hints at transformations right at the core of our being. We're talking about changes touching our energy, maybe even our physical reality in ways we're just starting to get our heads around. Absolutely. Our journey today, it takes us through some fascinating insights from a spiritual source specifically. It's from a YouTube transcript, and it delves right into the fabric of our energetic and spiritual evolution. It's packed with stuff about cosmic shifts, inner alchemy, really deep personal transformations.
And our mission today in this deep dive is really to pull out the most important nuggets from this perspective. We want to help you understand the what, the why, and maybe the how of this process.
Right.
We'll explore everything from the subtle energy structures, the etheric body, chakras, that kind of thing.
Okay.
All the way to the big picture stuff, like ancestral patterns, how our relationships might be evolving, and what it all could mean for your own journey, your own self-discovery.
We really want to try and offer a framework, maybe, for understanding these shifts if you're feeling them.
Precisely. And because, you might already be sensing these things, that subtle pull you mentioned, or a real urge for change, maybe even a discomfort with old ways of living that just don't fit anymore.
Yeah, that feeling of things not resonating.
Exactly. So this deep dive is definitely for you if you're curious about what might be unfolding beneath the surface, if you're getting those energetic nudges and want some context.
We'll explore how these maybe ancient patterns, these cosmic energies, even our closest relationships, how they might all be interconnected in this grand transformation.
Our aim is to provide context, hopefully leading to some aha moments that clarify what you might be experiencing internally or externally, helping you navigate this powerful time of growth and recalibration.
Okay, all right. Let's dive right into this singular era then. The source kicks things off by telling us we are traversing a singular time. Humanity is being called to live a deep and irreversible process. That word again, irreversible. It really stands out. This isn't just another cycle like the seasons changing, is it? It feels like it's being presented as something monumental, a defining moment.
It really does. And that irreversible part is key, I think. It's not just a passing phase, like a historical period we look back on. It implies a fundamental shift, a rewiring almost, of what it means to be human. Once we cross a certain point, the source suggests there's no going back to the old way, individually or collectively.
So not just turning a page, but starting a completely new book.
That's a great way to put it. It's more like a phase shift. Think about water turning to steam, still H2O, right? But its state, its properties, they fundamentally changed. We might be moving from one state of consciousness, one way of being, into something entirely new, establishing a new baseline.
And this call the source talks about, is it like a big announcement or something more subtle?
Much more subtle, usually. The source implies it's often an internal thing. A whisper, maybe, an insistent feeling inside. Many listening might recognize it as that internal pressure you mentioned, a deep yearning for authenticity.
Or like you said, that discomfort with things that used to feel fine.
Exactly. Or maybe heightened sensitivity, suddenly questioning things you always just accepted. Or even finding that personal growth seems to be speeding up, like issues resolve much faster now.
Yeah, that feeling of time accelerating somehow.
Right. It all points to this feeling of needing to catch up to some unfolding inner truth. It compels you to pay attention.
That distinction is powerful, not just a renovation, but a total rebuild from the ground up. It makes you wonder, though, if this shift is irreversible collectively, does that mean there's a point of no return for humanity? And what about our individual choice in all this? Does our conscious participation matter? Does it affect how smoothly this transformation happens for us?
That's a crucial point. It gets right to the heart of it. The source seems to suggest the collective tide might be turning irreversibly, yes. But our individual experience within that tide, that seems absolutely linked to our conscious participation.
Okay.
Think of it like a river changing course permanently. You can fight the new current, try to cling to the old banks, and that's going to cause a lot of friction, right?
Yeah, exhausting.
Or you can choose to surrender to the flow, learn to navigate the new waters, maybe even find some joy in it. Our free will seems to dictate how we engage with this powerful current.
So our choices, our willingness to engage, that determines the ease and grace of our own journey through this.
That's the implication. It's not passive. Change isn't just happening to us, it's presented as an active co-creation. And the mechanism, the core of the shift, as you said, is described at this really fundamental level.
Right, the transfiguration and recodification of DNA. Here's where it gets really interesting for me. The source is explicit about this and says, for many, this journey has already begun. So what's actually being transfigured or recodified? What does that mean beyond, high school biology, especially in a spiritual sense?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It takes us into what you might call our spiritual anatomy. The source details this as a true transcendence of ancient patterns.
Okay, ancient patterns, yeah.
Patterns that have been inscribed in the etheric body and more evidently in the first energy center, the root chakra.
Okay, let's break that down a bit. The etheric body. What exactly is that for listeners who might not be familiar?
Right. So the etheric body isn't just like a fuzzy aura. In many traditions, it's seen as the foundational energetic blueprint, the template for our physical form.
Like an energetic schematic.
Exactly. It holds the energetic instructions for every cell, every organ.
Yeah.
It acts as a bridge between our physical selves and the higher energetic realms. So when the source talks about recodification here, it's not just a minor tweak. It's suggesting a rewrite of this foundational blueprint.
Affecting the very energetic architecture of our physical bodies.
That's the idea. It's deep.
So it's like our energetic hard drive is running old software, old programs may be passed down through generations, and this process is about updating that core code. And the root chakra has a special role.
Precisely. The root chakra at the base of the spine, it's our first energy center, often seen as the main storage place for ancestral stuff, collective trauma, our survival instincts, our connection to earth, to our lineage.
The grounding point.
Exactly. It's like the first filter where our lineage's unresolved patterns tend to show up. So targeting the root chakra means going right to the source, energetically speaking, where these foundational programs are held.
And these old patterns, they aren't just our personal baggage.
No, that's key. The source says they're part of the human family's genetic inheritance. Things like ancestral memories, even birth records we carry from the moment we incarnate.
Wow. So our life's blueprint isn't just ours alone. It carries echoes from our whole family line, human and maybe even beyond.
That's what's suggested. These echoes influence our tendencies, our fears, our unexamined beliefs, maybe even things we think are just us.
That gives such a different perspective on our own challenges, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can almost imagine how these inherited patterns might play out, like maybe that nagging anxiety that seems to come out of nowhere, or those family dynamics that just repeat generation after generation, like cycles of addiction, or maybe difficulty with intimacy or financial struggles.
Right. Or even deeply ingrained cultural beliefs, things that when you really look at them, you realize they don't serve you anymore, but they feel incredibly hard to shake off. They're just there, like background noise in your system.
Exactly. And this transcending ancient patterns isn't just about noticing them, is it? It's about actively rewriting that software, moving beyond those imprints.
Precisely. It's not about blaming ancestors or anything like that. It's about acknowledging the energetic legacy we carry and then consciously choosing to transform it. The source is really clear. This process involves liberating ourselves, and it gets quite specific about what needs to be released.
Like a spiritual decluttering.
Kind of, yeah. A precise spiritual surgery, almost. Clearing the old so the authentic self can actually emerge.
Which brings us neatly to the grand liberation. The source says the call to action is clear. Free yourself from everything that does not belong to your true essence. That sounds imperative.
It does, doesn't it? Like a core instruction for this time.
It implies this shedding, this releasing of what no longer fits. Like a snake shedding its skin, allowing for growth. What does this big cleanse really involve?
Well, the source gives a pretty detailed list. It includes habits repeated for generations. Think about those automatic reactions, coping mechanisms, rigid beliefs maybe that you just absorbed from family or culture without really questioning.
Like always putting others first, maybe even when it drains you.
That's a perfect example. Or maybe a chronic need for external validation that just seems built in. It also mentions unconscious programs that molded collective behavior.
Okay, what might those be?
These could be those pervasive societal norms, cultural stories about how we're supposed to live, succeed, look, feel, often operating totally beneath our conscious radar. They shape our reality without us even noticing.
Really insidious, potentially.
They can be. And then the source mentions inherited epigenetic patterns. This is where it gets really fascinating, connecting the spiritual to the scientific.
Right, epigenetics.
Yeah.
That's about how genes can be expressed differently, not because the DNA code itself changes, but because of external factors like lifestyle, environment, even trauma, right? And those changes can be passed down.
Exactly. It's a huge field now. And the source seems to be saying that these energetic and emotional imprints, the ones linked to ancestral trauma or survival strategies, they aren't just vague spiritual ideas. They might have a tangible biological counterpart that gets inherited.
So epigenetics shows how our ancestors' experiences, their famines, wars, resilience, even joys, can literally mark their genes, affecting how those genes function in us.
That's the understanding, yes. So when the source talks about recodification of DNA to transcend these patterns, it's not just a metaphor anymore. It suggests a process that could energetically unmark or pattern these epigenetic imprints.
Liberating us from carrying the biological and energetic echoes of things that aren't even ours necessarily.
That's the potential it points towards. A profound cleansing, potentially down to the cellular level, allowing us to shed burdens that don't serve our authentic path. And finally, this liberation involves letting go of ways of life that no longer align with the authentic purpose of your soul.
So a really comprehensive clearing out, stripping away everything that isn't truly us.
That's the goal, it seems.
That connection to epigenetics really makes it feel more grounded somehow. So if we're freeing ourselves from everything that doesn't belong to our true essence, what is this true essence? How do we recognize it? This pure and luminous essential identity underneath all the layers?
That's a beautiful question. The true essence is often described as, well, our soul's original blueprint, the uncorrupted version of who we are before all the conditioning, the trauma, the inherited stuff.
What does it feel like?
It's usually associated with qualities like unconditional love, compassion, innate joy, creativity, a deep sense of worthiness that doesn't depend on anything external.
Unconditional worthiness, that's big.
It is. You might recognize it as that deep inner peace that doesn't get shaken by circumstances, or a feeling of connection to everything, or just an intuitive knowing that resonates with truth and integrity. It's the part of you that feels authentic, free, vibrant, light, deeply at home in yourself.
Okay.
And thinking about those inherited patterns again, remember the scarcity mindset example, fearing lack even when you have enough.
Yeah.
Or that sense of obligation, always saying yes when you mean no, leading to burnout or resentment. Those are concrete examples of layers that might need shedding to reveal that luminous core essence.
That helps clarify it a lot. And this internal cleansing, it's not happening in isolation, is it? The source brings in cosmic forces, celestial influences, talking about an alchemia interior and inner alchemy.
Right, the macrocosm influencing the microcosm. Cosmic energies interacting with our personal journey.
So what does this mean for us right now? The source specifically mentions astrological energies as catalysts.
Yes, it highlights the interplay between Virgo and Pisces energies, particularly around September in the source's timing. These aren't just random signs, they're presented as complementary forces guiding this inner alchemy, like cosmic partners in our transformation.
Okay, Pisces and Virgo, how do they work together in this?
Well, Pisces, being the last sign, carries the energy of endings, letting go, spiritual release. The source says it leads us to detachment, the closing of cycles, and conscious surrender of what needs to be dissolved.
Letting go part.
Exactly. And it notes this is especially strong during eclipses, which are often seen as accelerators of change, bringing hidden things to light, forcing necessary endings. So Pisces is like the cosmic cleanup crew, clearing away the old debris to make space.
And Virgo then comes in to organize the new space.
Beautifully put. In contrast to Pisces' dissolving energy, Virgo offers us the possibility to integrate with clarity. It's about organization, discernment, practical application, grounding the new stuff.
So it's not just ideas floating around.
Right. Virgo helps with grounding everything that is being born within us, making sure the new insights, the new patterns become embodied, part of our physical reality. It helps align body, mind, and spirit with the divine order, bringing structure to the changes.
So Pisces clears the slate, Virgo helps draw the new blueprint and integrate it.
Exactly. It's a dance. Release and rebuild. You might feel it as that simultaneous push-pull, wanting to clear out clutter, both physical and emotional, Pisces, but also wanting to organize, plan, set new routines, bring order, Virgo.
That makes so much sense. It's not just abstract astrology, it's influencing our practical urges. And the source really doubles down on this not being just symbolic, doesn't it? This DNA transfiguration is described as real, living, and multidimensional, not just a mental game.
Absolutely. It insists this is a profound energetic reality playing out in our bodies, our energy fields, and it even outlines stages for how this multidimensional process unfolds.
Stages. Okay, what are they?
It apparently begins when we consciously start to transcend trauma stored in our chakras, especially those from the three-dimensional experience. So the work starts with consciously addressing past wounds, energetic imprints, not just from this life maybe, but our whole journey through denser realities.
Facing the stored stuff.
Right. And in this initial phase, we're cleaning identities that do not belong to us. That could be old roles we played, labels others gave us, masks we wore for survival.
Things we thought were us, but aren't really.
Exactly. Also releasing fragments inherited from past lineages, those energetic hand-me-downs from ancestors, unresolved issues, karmic threads, and memories impregnated in our field, which might be non-physical imprints from past experiences, collective consciousness, even trauma absorbed from our environment.
It sounds like a really careful sorting process. Sifting through our energy field, figuring out what's genuinely ours versus what we picked up along the way.
That's the idea, discerning what to keep and what to release.
Okay, so that's the initial clearing. What comes next?
After that initial clearing, we move into what the source calls a stage of cellular and spiritual restoration. This is the deeper rebuilding phase.
Restoration, okay.
And it lists specific purifications here. First, purifying birth records. Now that could mean clearing the energetic imprints from the moment we arrived, astrology, family dynamics, collective energy at the time, freeing us from limiting inception points.
Interesting.
Then dissolving karmic residues. Not just personal karma, maybe, but the lingering energetic echoes of past actions and consequences held in our field, potentially across lifetimes.
Okay, clearing the karmic slate. And then it mentions something really intriguing, eliminating artificial mutations, hybridizations. That sounds different. What could that possibly refer to?
Yeah, that phrase definitely stands out. Artificial mutations and hybridizations. It goes beyond just inherited trauma or personal karma. It hints perhaps at distortions to our original divine blueprint that might have been introduced somehow.
Introduced how?
Yeah.
Like cosmic interference or something.
The source doesn't specify exactly, but it suggests influences that might have deviated us from an optimal divine design. Imagine our DNA not just biologically, but as a multidimensional antenna, right? Designed to tune into high frequencies.
Okay.
These mutations could be like energetic static or interference patterns, maybe even implanted bugs, using the source's kind of language that block us from fully connecting to our highest potential. Limiting programs.
And hybridizations.
Could refer to energetic mixtures or overlays that dilute our original divine signature, perhaps. The idea seems to be about stripping away anything that isn't part of our true, pristine divine design, restoring the antenna to its original frequency.
Wow. It's a very deep level of purification, getting rid of energetic corruption, essentially.
It's presented that way, yes. A return to integrity. And finally, this stage involves clearing all inherited burdens associated with epigenetics and traumas transmitted through countless generations that live in us. So, back to those epigenetic markers we talked about.
Addressing them at a fundamental energetic level.
Right. Purifying the inherited code, restoring it to its optimal state.
That is incredibly thorough. Astonishing, really. The artificial mutations idea definitely adds another layer, suggesting distortions beyond natural inheritance. And this deep cleansing, especially of inherited burdens and these maybe cosmic distortions, it leads us somewhere specific, doesn't it? To understanding our role within the monad.
Exactly. It provides a much grander context for all this intense inner work. It gives it immense meaning.
The source makes this really striking statement, speaking directly to the listeners. Many of you who hear these words are incarnated representatives of your monad. That suggests something far bigger than just our individual lives, right? A higher purpose connected to something vast.
It really does. To get a handle on the monad concept, Let's think beyond just oversoul or a vague spark. Imagine a huge central spiritual sun, a unified field of divine consciousness.
Okay, central source.
Yes, and from this sun, countless individual soul expressions like sparks or rays of light emanate. Each of us, as a soul, is one of those rays. We're intrinsically connected back to that central monad, carrying a piece of its consciousness, its purpose.
So the monadic lineage isn't just our earthly family tree.
No, it's this whole spiritual family of souls connected to that same source. And your individual journey of cleaning, restoring, and reconnecting, it's not just for you. The source says it's a collective and cosmic task.
Collective and cosmic. How so?
Your purification work sends ripples back to the source, apparently affecting every other soul expression in that monad. It helps allow each expression in the monad to ascend to higher spheres of light.
So our personal work lifts the whole group.
That's the profound implication. It explains perhaps those times you feel that incredibly heavy burden, that deep karma that seems totally unrelated to your current life.
Yeah, that feeling of carrying something ancient and inexplicable.
It might be these monadic responsibilities, this collective purification you're participating in. It gives profound meaning to those struggles, turns personal work into cosmic service.
That's a powerful reframe. Like the monad is a huge tree where leaves are branches, and healing one part helps the whole tree grow towards the light. The burden isn't just personal, it's for the whole tree's ascent. Wow.
Exactly.
And this totally redefines karma, doesn't it? If we're cleaning for the whole lineage, it can't just be about balancing our own personal book.
It absolutely shifts the perspective. The traditional view of karma, often seen as punishment or individual debt balancing, gets a radical makeover here.
The source says for souls doing this monadic restoration, what's happening is not karma in the common sense. It's a process of monadic transfiguration. That changes everything. It turns struggle into purposeful action.
And the metaphor used is fascinating. You are like filters that transmute in the physical body the wounds and traumas accumulated along multiple lines of experience. Filters.
Not just enduring, but actively transmuting.
Precisely. You're not just passively suffering or paying debts. You're actively transforming and purifying these energies for the entire monadic lineage, clearing the path for countless others connected to your source.
That makes personal healing feel incredibly vital, like a responsibility almost.
In a way, yes. It reframes self-care fundamentally. Neglecting your inner work isn't just personal stagnation. It potentially slows down a whole spiritual family's evolution, according to this view.
Wow.
And the source asserts that by choosing the path of love, consciousness, and freedom, choosing differently than maybe ancestors or even other monadic expressions, you've already broken the cycle of karma.
Already broken it just by choosing differently.
That's the claim. It's monumental. Karma here isn't a prison, it's an opportunity for liberation. Something to engage with actively, not just accept passively. Your conscious intent becomes the key disruptor.
So it's not repeating the past, but actively changing its energetic wake.
Oh.
Purifying the stream for everyone downstream and maybe even upstream too. The mission becomes clear. Not to carry, but to transform. Not to repeat, but to recreate. Not to suffer, but to open passage for the entire monad to elevate. It flips the script from victimhood to empowered spiritual agency. Every conscious choice becomes a cosmic act.
That's the essence of it.
So practically, what does choosing the path of love, consciousness, and freedom look like? How does that break a cycle? Can you give an example?
Sure. Let's take that pattern of emotional suppression in a family line. Generation after generation, maybe, struggles to express feelings, leading to unresolved conflicts, anxiety, maybe even illness.
Okay, a common enough pattern.
Right. Now, if you, as an incarnated representative doing this work, consciously choose emotional healing therapy, energy work, just practicing authentic communication, if you learn to express feelings healthily, you're not just healing you.
You're transmuting the pattern itself.
Exactly. Your conscious choice, rooted in love for yourself and freedom from the old dynamic, sends out ripples. It energetically releases pressure back through the ancestral line, maybe even helps those who came before, and it definitely helps any descendants.
They might find it easier to be emotionally free because the energetic root is addressed.
That's the idea. It literally changes the energetic inheritance, creates a new, healthier blueprint for the lineage. That conscious choice is the act that breaks the karmic cycle in this model.
That's incredibly profound. Connecting our personal healing journey to such vast impacts and this monadic transfiguration, it implies cleaning not only your own personal records, but also monadic and human records. That's huge. with massive implications for generations.
It really is. So what's the tangible result of this deep work, restoring our original energetic architecture? The source says by restoring your original archives, accessing and purifying those monadic blueprints, you not only heal yourselves, but heal the entire generational tree, ending repetitive cycles that have been traversing centuries.
Ending cycles that ran for centuries. That highlights the sheer power of individual transformation.
It does. And for those with children, this work is framed as creating a new model, a new energetic foundation, a new lineage free from past distortions. It's like consciously pruning the unhealthy branches and nurturing new, vibrant growth, offering a cleaner, energetic start for future generations.
A beautiful image, giving them a foundation less burdened by specific baggage from the past. But what about people without children? Does the work still have that kind of weight?
Absolutely. The source is clear. This work is still powerful as it closes stories that needed to be concluded. It brings resolution to old narratives lingering in the energetic field, human or cosmic.
Closing stories, like bringing peace to unresolved themes.
Exactly. Collective karmic patterns, maybe unfulfilled potentials, emotional themes seeking closure through various expressions of the monad. Your healing provides that resolution, brings peace and completion.
And the cosmic scope you mentioned.
Breathtaking, isn't it? Dissolving all birth narratives, liberating memories rooted in past dimensions, ending repeating patterns spanning generations on Earth and in other cosmic spheres.
Other cosmic spheres. It really expands our idea of lineage beyond Earth, suggesting the patterns we're clearing might have roots in experiences from other star systems, other dimensions.
It points to a truly multidimensional healing process.
Think about those family patterns again, like chronic poverty or illness. If one person does the deep work, releases scarcity programming, heals inherited trauma, clears energetic roots of disease, they can literally break the cycle. Their descendants might find achieving stability or health easier, not just through effort, but because the energetic blueprint has shifted at that deep monadic level. It opens new possibilities.
And this profound, multi-generational, multi-dimensional healing inevitably flows into how we relate to others, especially our relationships. As we change so fundamentally, recodify our essence, our connections have to shift too.
That makes total sense. So another essential piece of this transfiguration, the source says, is how we understand and live relationships. As we change, our connections naturally recalibrate, maybe even dramatically.
And what's fascinating is the dual call here. First, recognize clearly who we really are. Get that self-awareness sharp. And second, identify what does not belong to us.
Back to that discernment.
Exactly. That heightened self-awareness then becomes the guide. It pushes us to change everything that is not in resonance with our deepest truth, our authentic self within our relationships.
So it leads to reevaluating connections.
Inevitably. The source talks about the natural progression of leaving relationships that have fulfilled their purpose. Those that served as school or mirror, but maybe no longer vibrate at the frequency of equality, mutual respect, and true soul union.
It's not about judgment then, more about energetic alignment.
Precisely. As you raise your own vibration, align with your true essence, some relationships might naturally fall away. The energetic match just isn't there anymore, and new ones, matching your new frequency, will likely emerge. It's about becoming unapologetically you, and letting your relationships reflect that truth.
That resonates. Many listeners have probably felt that shift, where a connection with an old friend, family member, even a partner just feels different. Conversations fall flat, shared activities don't appeal anymore. It can be confusing, even painful, right? To admit a connection that once felt vital now feels stagnant or maybe even limiting.
Very much so. But the source frames it not as failure, but as energetic realignment. Our rising vibration naturally recalibrates our external world, including relationships.
And it goes even deeper than just which relationships we're in, doesn't it? This shift targets the very nature of love itself.
Indeed. It's pointing towards an evolution in how we connect, how we love.
The source describes this powerful transcendence.
Yeah.
Love that was cultivated from the ego, based on needs, dependence, or control. That's what we're moving beyond. It says for too long we've confused love with attachment, possession, or scarcity. Wow. That's a direct challenge to a lot of common relationship dynamics.
It is, and the invitation connecting to the bigger picture is profound. To love from the soul, from freedom, expansion, and integrity. This isn't just trying to be nicer, it's a fundamental redefinition. Moving from needing to get love because we feel lacking,
Right.
to letting love flow freely from within because we recognize our own wholeness, our own completeness.
That requires a lot of inner work and self-trust.
Absolutely. The Source emphasizes trusting our inner guidance, being faithful to the call of the heart, even when external voices, society, family, old wounds try to pull us back into old patterns. It highlights autonomy, trusting our internal wisdom for our connections.
And faith, too.
Yes, a fundamental role for faith and confidence, trusting that everything is being orchestrated with divine perfection to put us in the right place at the right time and with the right people. It's a call to let go of controlling outcomes and trust the larger flow, the cosmic orchestration.
So instead of that egoic love, jealousy, codependency, manipulation, possessiveness, which often create fear and constriction, we're moving towards soul-based love, which would look like unconditional support, mutual growth, respect for individuality, a shared sense of freedom.
Exactly. Love that empowers both people rather than depleting them. Love that elevates, not confines.
And this whole incredible journey, the DNA stuff, the monadic healing, these relationship shifts, it's all leading us back to recovering something ancient and profound within ourselves.
It seems so. A grand reclamation, remembering our original, uncorrupted essence.
So after walking through this profound process, recodification, monadic healing, evolving relationships, what are we ultimately getting back? What's the grand prize at the end of this cosmic and personal transformation?
That brings us right to the core purpose, doesn't it? The Source tells us we're reclaiming something vast. Our original memories, our immortal essence, our galactic inheritances, and the mission we chose before coming here.
Wow. Galactic inheritances. Mission.
Yeah. It's not just about healing personal wounds or clearing family stuff. It's about remembering and truly embodying a much larger cosmic identity, returning to that authentic, uncorrupted blueprint that includes our multidimensional origins.
Recalling the truth of who we are beyond this life. Awakening to why we came here, especially now, in this singular time.
Precisely. And this deep dive shows that the daily choice, the constant practice of choosing once again to be who we truly are, expressed through divine love, compassion, honesty, and integrity, that's the path. It's those small conscious choices every day that embody this reclaimed essence.
That's incredibly inspiring, our daily choices weaving the fabric of this grand reclamation. But the Source is realistic too, isn't it? It doesn't paint it as easy street. It says, liberating yourself from what is not yours can be painful. Detaching from beliefs, ways of being, and people can bring tears. This journey involves grief, challenges. It's not always comfortable.
No, growth rarely is it? But what's fascinating is the assurance that follows. It is precisely in this act of liberation that you cross into a new timeline.
A new timeline.
Yes, a timeline aligned with truth, expansion, and the freedom of the soul. It's this powerful affirmation that letting go, even when painful, isn't an end. It's a gateway.
So the tears, the discomfort, they're the price of admission to a reality where we're more truly ourselves.
That's how it's presented. A reality where you operate from a higher frequency, feel more peace, more alignment, clearing space for what truly belongs, for the timeline where your highest potential can finally unfold without the old baggage.
A timeline where actions come from essence, relationships are soul-aligned, and life resonates with our deepest mission.
That's the promise.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe here's something for you, the listener, to consider. What single ancient pattern, maybe an egoic attachment or an inherited burden, what one thing might you be ready to consciously surrender today? Knowing that letting go could unlock not just your personal freedom, but maybe activate that new timeline for your truest self and for the broader lineage, human and monadic, that you're intrinsically connected to. This whole profound transformation, it starts with one conscious choice.
And just remember, the work you do for yourself, choosing love, choosing truth, it resonates far beyond just you. It echoes through dimensions, through timelines, blessing everyone connected to you.
May each of you continue to choose to be the unique expression of God, the living manifestation of love that descended to earth to reveal itself through you, with love eternal and infinite.